Matt. The Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, continues cutting costs by canceling the leases of several federal offices across the country, including several buildings here in Massachusetts. But what does this mean for us at home? Western Mass News reporter Reagan Locree joins us live in the studio after getting answers from Congressman Richard Neal. Reagan?
That's right, Amanda. Congressman Neal tells me point blank that he feels very little thought has gone into these terminations, and he would not be surprised if they were assessed in the near future. And at this time, it's really unknown what kind of effects this can have on us at home.
I don't think anybody understands the reasoning here, and I think it's highlighted by the fact that it seems as though within hours of the announcement, there are alterations and amendments that are offered and then reversals.
The Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, was developed under the Trump administration to cut back on government spending. And it's now been announced that several federal buildings across Massachusetts are in the crosshairs, as DOGE has decided to end their leases. Although most are in other parts of the state, there are a handful of those buildings here in Western Mass, including the IRS National Office in Springfield, as well as the Small Business Administration and the Employment Standards Administration building, both also in Springfield. In addition to that, the Natural Resources Conservation Service building in Amherst and the United States Fish and Wildlife located in Hadley. Western Mass News wanted to know what would happen to those working in these buildings if and when their lease is indeed canceled. This is what Congressman Richard Neal had to say.
I don't think anybody knows at the moment. I do think that it's ill-considered to suggest that you could leave 80,000 veteran services employees away. We have 1.5 million new veterans from Iraq, Somalia, Afghanistan. And I think that we made a promise to them on a contractual basis when they signed up to be cared for when they return home.
And Neal also shares concerns as we continue into tax season.
How about the idea that we're targeting thousands of people in the Internal Revenue Service at the very time that we're filing tax season?
As for the impact on the general public, Congressman Neal tells me that's up in the air at this point.
I want to make sure that we push back against any inconvenience that comes to the general public. It's a connection between the government and people that need those services, and we should stick with it.
According to DOGE's website, the estimated savings from a combination of several cuts, including these lease cancellations, would equal about $105 billion. Meanwhile, the savings per taxpayer would be about $652. Reporting live in studio, Reagan Locree for Western Mass News.
Reagan, thank you for that live report. Now to